This is your weekly forecast for Monday the 9th of May through to Sunday the 15th of May. It is week 19. I am going to start by saying that Mercury at this moment in time is retrograde. What this means is because this planet is involved with communication, the spoken or written word, negotiations, contracts, business of all sorts, siblings, next door neighbours, are belonging to the house of Gemini, which the planet Mercury rules. There is, however, a retrograde taking place, which means that it revisits the house previous to re-examine ideals, plans on any of the above that I have mentioned, and especially to the traits of the house it is in. A retrograde is not a time to seal the deal, to put pen to paper, signature-wise, or to complete a transaction of any kind in any shape or form. The house it is retrograde in is house 12. This is of hidden enemies, of dream state, a house that has no borders, illusionary, no defining line or barriers of any sort. As the last house, it is a confrontation of successes and failures, so it is important to have solid foundation. Mercury is in Taurus in house 12. Venus is also in Taurus in the 12th house, and this is the planet of love, creativity, earthly pleasures. Again, because of Mercury retrograde, make sure your communication, such as the meeting of a loved one to be, romance, relationships of the heart in general, are not up to the blind, dreamy state, hopeful or wishful thinking, or even the knight in shining armour. Romance with blinkers on. Give it time. Wait for the planet Mercury to non-retrograde and all will be clearer. Remember, Taurus is about self-possessions, self-values, acquisitions of all kinds, personal values. So do not compromise these things to whims and possible flights of fancy. Venus also rules Libra as well as Taurus. In Libra we have close relationships, which is the house in the last quadrant of the astrological clock. So we have the collective experiences which has come about in the semi-cycle from house 7 to house 12. On to the 3-card read. For those who haven't seen my previous videos, yes, there are some. Whilst you are looking at 4 cards, the far right one is the covering card, the general theme of the read itself, and is not a direct part of the other 3 cards. I have stated before that the major trump is the main event here, and we have the mighty chariot. I will come back to this card as I want to continue the link with the 5 of Pentacles. This is Taurus, ruled by Mercury, and because of the Mercury retrograde, we have an effect to goods, chattel, self-acquisitions of any sort, which I have already mentioned, along with personal values. In legalities, this can represent a loss of money, overspending, or deficiency in something. It is not fortuitous. Remember that in the House of 12, things can be vague, hazy, wishy-washy, dream state, no defining lines. So we have a situation of communication not going to a plan, romance, fecundities, pleasures, your joie de vivre, not being what you hoped, wished, or thought would be. Differences of opinion by others, finding yourself talking but others not listening. Everybody having their say at once. It is dealing with communication also of all sorts, which is the Seven of Wands, which will include internet, email, conversations internally with oneself. So again, because of the Mercury retrograde, give plenty of thought to what you say and what you write. It is going to be a week of battles, Seven of Wands, but now returning to the Mighty Chariot. This card is so powerful that, as an example, if you had an enemy in your spread with this card on their side, you have already lost. However, this Chariot is depicting that success will be achieved, in spite of what you may think, in spite of how hopeless something may look at this present time, or whatever situation you find yourself in. But it will be achieved through nose to the grindstone and hard work in general. So, a battle over tangibilities with eventual success through hard work. I have drawn an oracle card, which is this one here. And it denotes spiritual growth. This is prevalent to House 12. And because of this, pay attention to your intuition, your gut feelings. This is also borne out by the Chariot card, which represents the House of Cancer, which is of home. And the Chariot is ruled by the Moon. This is a planet of instinct, intuition, reflection, and the past. This is also a good time for inner development. So, summing up, re-examine your plans and actions before moving forward. Resist the urge of I want it now, must have it now. Try to look deeper into things in all aspects, not just the material, but spiritually also, because you have material things, Taurus, in a house which is spiritual, Pisces, house 12. There is no reason that one cannot live beside the other and aid to the promotion of each other. This has been John. Thank you for listening.